wonderful fun. We told you about the story that is on board, on the dashboard this morning, and it's brought to you right now.
Dear AM, he left for the US and vanished into thin air for 2 years. After waiting for a while, I met a man who was ready to marry me. In fact, we are 2 months away from our marriage ceremony. Dear AM, my estranged US guy is back and wants to marry me. My problem is that I still love him and want to be with him. What should I do? Help me, because I am losing my mind. Frimpoma Doma Ahinkro.
Well, so that is what we're about to discuss. We'll do that soon. We'll also call a counselor on stream and then get to know what advice is there. And it's a story I don't know whether we're familiar or not familiar with, but if you're familiar with such stories, or you just hearing or meeting it for the first time, you want to get interactive, very easy for you to do so. Facebook JoyNews on TV is always available for you. We also have our Twitter handle at JoyNews on TV, and let us know. As you watch us, I always encourage all of us who tend to watch My Joy Online TV, which is our YouTube channel, to also send comments. There's a comment section, so as you're watching, you're sending comments as well. It increases the viewing appetite in the first place. But we have the WhatsApp number on the screens now, 0540 10 900 9. And we have a couple of the messages. We have this one from, it says, Godson Elom. Good morning, Roland and Mama. I always enjoy your program, Joy News. God bless you. And that's Godson Elom Dupui from Ve Bodome in the Volta region. That would be Ve. It says, okay. It says, Mama, tell Roland to reserve a dedication for me. Okay. So Sir Roy from Sefri Bekwai. Sir Roy, this one is dedicated to you. It says, Mama is back and now Roland make hot. But there's a concern that's been raised by one. We have Salih Fuhud from the Savannah region, and specifically giving us this message from Bole. It says, Ghana Cats, it has been so difficult for us, the people of Bole in the Savannah region, to have access to the exercise by the government of Ghana. Some people have to sleep at the point where the exercise is going to go on, and there's some evidence to show on the 17th of this month at 9 p.m. and he's given us some messages as well. Please don't call the line. Make sure that you only send out messages. Okay, all right. And then let's take the last one, then we'll go for a break. Says, Madam Frimpoma must chase her heart by marrying her USA guy, absolutely. If only the guy loves her back. Faisal from Kejebi inside Oti region. Well, I guess that's where we have to transition and tell you again what the story is. We're about to treat a story, dear AM.
AM, he left for the US and vanished into thin air for 2 years. After waiting for a while, I met a man who was ready to marry me. In fact, we are 2 months away from our marriage ceremony. Dear AM, my estranged US guy is back and wants to marry me. My problem is that I still love him and want to be with him. What should I do? Help me, because I am losing my mind. Frimpoma Doma Ahinkro.
Well, so we're back to discuss this. And Mamavi, the story is there was somebody that she was in a relationship with, and all of a sudden traveled. You know that time, nothing about when they travel and you don't hear from them. All of a sudden, 2 years, he's back. He's back. And she had met somebody, you know, they were trying to settle down. Now, this is the dilemma she finds herself in. Is it even a dilemma?
It shouldn't be, but it is for her. I mean, I'm not a long distance kind of person.
Okay, so for you, once you step out of Kotoka, that's all.
I tried it. I mean, I just had to be real with myself and say, Charlie, it's not going to work, so let's just end it. I'm surprised that she's even considering but she says that she still loves him.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's why I'm not sure what I think, because what I would do would be totally different from what she's thinking. And so I guess somebody else's intervention will be needed, maybe a softer touch. Because for me, it's straight to the point, just concentrate on what you're doing. Do you know what he had been doing in the US all this while? Why didn't he get in touch with you? I mean, do you properly understand what he's involved with and that kind of thing? If you've met someone, you guys are on your way to settling down, you're 2 months away, you say. But then again, there's the love thing, isn't it?
Yes, it seems to be that thing is about how I feel about the person. It doesn't mean that you feel less. So you are with
this person that you're going to marry.
Yes. So you are with this person you're going to marry, and it's more like just a compromise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was he just like your plan B because plan A didn't work out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes in relationships it's always important that all the two or any of them are very assertive. You need to be assertive, because that also speaks volumes about the decisions you're likely to make as either a man or a woman in a marriage relationship. Now, if you come to meet some of these challenges, and of course we have barriers about how you tend to feel, what those infatuations are, etc., and you can't make definite decisions around them, it speaks a lot about when you meet the real hurdles in the marriage relationship, what would you do?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be a long distance action. You're going to be with that person for a long time. And the person just absconded and then came back 2 years in time. And out of the blue, your feelings for the person all return just because the person made contact.
Maybe the feelings
had always been there.
Away. Exactly.
Well,
I think she has to fill in a lot of the gaps, like the potholes we may not know. What was he doing within that 2 years? Why didn't he get in touch with you? Why does he want to come back? Why does he want to settle with you? Why would you want to believe him? Those are personal questions that I'm sure you didn't give us all the details, but these are things that I'm thinking that you should know, you should have thought about. And yeah.
Well, we have this one, and it says she shouldn't be fascinated because he's from the United States. She should go ahead and marry the current guy. And I wish that you had added your name. Okay, I've seen Stevenson in your status, so I'll take that as Stevenson. And then also we have from Takrade, Kenneth from Takrade says, I want to ask, is it because he has traveled to the US and that's the reason why she's losing his mind? She has, please, just
maybe
forget.
Maybe not.
Just forget about the US guy and focus on the man who is ready to marry you. It's something.
So is it just about the marriage? Again, I have some key questions is it just about the marriage?
Yeah, on the other hand, you say.
Yeah, is it just about the marriage?
Okay, let me read this and then we can talk about it. It says, well, Frimpoma would she have still loved the guy if he traveled to Treponi and back with nothing? I would advise she sticks to the new guy because the USA guy may be faking, and that's Ben from Takrade. We also have this one. It says, Madam Frimpoma, yes, you might claim to love your US guy because you are seeing all US over him, but are you ready to stay here in Ghana alone and abandoned? Please, it's time we women wise up. That's Madam. And he says, Madam, marry your Ghana guy and live happily ever after, or you'll regret it. And that's Yawa Pando. And Yawa is thinking that the gentleman is going to marry you and says, oh, the
well, on the other hand, I mean, I think we're all we're perhaps looking at one side of it. So maybe take yourself out and look at it objectively. We're activating the phone line, so you can give us a call, 030221169102, 030221169102. I was just saying that maybe we're looking at it, we're all thinking maybe she's doing it because the guy's from the US. What if he had traveled to another place within Ghana? But I'm thinking, what if she really genuinely has feelings for this guy and the feelings never left in the first place,
The
and the
feelings
fact
had
that,
always been there.
and the fact that he's back, yeah.
Well, we have Inusa on the line, and you can call us through the number 0302211691 or 2. Inusa from Bunkrugu. Inusa, good morning to you. Yeah.
Oh, I had a similar experience, just like this lady's phone.
Okay, so what was your experience that equates
my
to this
experience was that the lady traveled outside. We were not communicating almost 3 to 4 years. Then later on, he came back. That time I was preparing to marry my police lady. They said, oh, he loves me, all manner of things. I asked her to give me time to check on myself. Oh, but she was bringing all manner of goodies. But my mother asked me a question. If truly she loved me, when she went to Denmark, she would have tried her possible best to communicate with me. But she was not doing that. But she was communicating with the family, which I knew, because the sister was telling me that she was talking to them, so they knew everything was going. For that question, my mother asked me, I asked myself similar thing, if I were the one. I just said no. Even though the goodies were good for me to accept her and be with her, but I realized that it was not good for me to marry her. So I just told her the gospel truth that you should go away. I realized that it was a scam.
So your advice to Frimpoma is that please...
I will advise the lady that love there is something sometimes is unimaginable. But sometimes you must use your head, not your heart. So I will tell her that if truly she loves the guy, but because the marriage is already in the process, I will advise her to forget the US guy. Because 3 years, this modern era, you cannot communicate with the person. If the person truly loves you, at least, if you can't speak regularly, but once in a week or in a month, there should be some communication. Oh, A, B, C, the things are not going well, but at least we know that it's not everybody who will go to US or this Europe and things will be better. They are all struggling like we are also here struggling. It's just that maybe sometimes because the condition is somehow better than here. That's how we always think that. So I would advise that you should marry this current guy and leave me. Simple as that.
Yeah. And
thank you.
well, thank you.
Thank you very much, Inusan. Thank you for sharing your personal story with us. Let's talk to James from Tumu. Good morning, James.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Hello, James.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Kindly go ahead.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. James, kindly turn down the volume on your television set so we can communicate via the phone, okay? So we don't have
reduce it,
we don't have repetitions of what we're talking about. Go ahead, James, if you've done that.
Yes. Okay. Concerning the issue, what I wanted to say is that in love. Hello?
You're on, James. Go ahead.
Yeah. Concerning this issue, in love, sometimes there are no exceptions. But you have to first of all consider who you know best. When it comes to these two people, though the man had traveled and it took a time to communicate with you, doesn't mean he had rejected you.
Okay.
And she also understood that there was love. That was why she waited for a while. But sometimes some situations will come in a relationship just to prove that there is love in between you, not that you take it as an excuse.
Okay.
Maybe the new person she thinks is the best, within a year or two, like the guy went and came back and he's still in need of her. If there's a problem between she and the new person, you'll be surprised that guy will not forgive her.
Okay.
So the feeling she had, first of all, she should look at it.
Okay.
She had been with that guy for a time before he traveled. And when he came back, if the love wasn't even there, it's different. But now that there's still love, the new guy should understand that they were there before.
Okay.
And sometimes things will just come in to prove the extent of which you love each other.
Okay.
Not
All
that
right.
you capitalize on that and walk away.
Okay.
So
All
please,
right, James.
I advise her, if she has love for the man, she should go ahead and marry that guy. And people didn't mistake it that they were there before the guy traveled and came.
All right.
I know
James?
many of the people will be looking at it that because he traveled abroad, that is why the girl is going to consider. No.
I get you, James. Your point is well made. We'll have to move on and speak to other people.
Right.
So thank you very much. Let's talk to Eugene. Eugene is in Koforia. Eugene, thanks for holding. Let's hear you now.
Yeah, my point is I don't get a lady because actually somebody traveled for 2 good years, yeah, no contact whatsoever. He comes out of nowhere, and you want to fall for what? You've already made plans to settle with somebody 2 months away.
Well, she says she has feelings. I mean, she still loves him. Isn't that important?
You can still grow with. You can still grow with. Similar happened to me. I was in Ghana, yeah, and my girlfriend had to travel all the way to the Europe. I'm in UK to do first degree, second degree, and masters. Came back, dated there. After she realizing things weren't so much working out for her, there she came back, hoping we could marry. Was ever ready to sponsor everything. You know what my mom said? Are you sure this is for real? I had to back out. She's in one of these very big companies in Ghana. Huge sums of money as a salary at the end of the day. But I'm okay with what I have now.
Are you happy though? Are you happy?
So
do you look
happy.
back and say, oh, I should have?
I'm married, so much happy with kids. I'm so much okay. So you should forget about this US, whatever. Focus on what you have now. A bed in hand is always worth more than any other thing.
Okay. All right, Eugene, thank you very much for your thoughts. Roland, we've got Samuel on the line. Samuel is in Pukwasi. Good morning, Samuel. Hello, Samuel, if you can hear me. Hello, Samuel.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, but kindly speak up a bit for us, okay?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, Samuel. Very well, thank you.
Please, it's not about the U.S. Hello.
Okay, Samuel, kindly turn down the volume on your television sets, okay?
Yes.
So we can avoid the delays. Yes. Speak to me through the phone. Let's connect through the phone, okay?
Okay.
Turn down the volume on the television set. And I'm making an appeal. Kindly turn down the volume on your television sets when you give us a call. Otherwise, we'll get feedbacks and there will be delays in the conversation. Samuel, if you've done that?
Yes.
Okay.
Please, what I want to say is that the girl should reject the guy from US and focus on the...
Why is that? Why do you say that?
Because it's not about the US that the guy is...
She didn't necessarily say the USO. I mean, she only talked about where he went to and where he had come from. But she said, most importantly, that she's in love with him. Doesn't that matter?
Because the guy rejected him before he went to abroad.
Well, the guy didn't communicate with her. He just vanished.
Oh, okay. Then you should focus.
You should focus on the guy here, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Samuel, thank you very much for your thoughts as well. Roland, looks like, and we're having people share their personal experiences with us.
Yes. And it looks like I have this one. Okay, so I have this one before we go on to who the counselor is, and we have Amos Keviana standing by. Hi, good morning. Frimpoma should ask herself if the US guy truly loves her the way she does. Fine, she loves him, but she shouldn't only use her heart but her mind as well. And that's from Duffling. Duffling. Okay, thank you, Duffling. Says this one says, hi, my name is Anani. The girl should stop the US agenda and go to the Ghana man. And provided the lady is internally sure of her unconditional love for the US guy, she may follow her heart. Yet, if only the guy wouldn't feel otherwise later, she can go ahead for her love. But I think you should pray as well as get the public and counselor's comment and advise herself. And that's from Bernard, giving us this message from La Paz. Okay, now can we move on, Mama V? Okay, so we have Amos Kevin Annan, who is a counselor, on the line. And good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Roland. How are you?
I'm blessed, sir. I'm blessed.
You owe me tons, you and Mama V.
Yes, yeah, we do.
Your indebtedness. Let's see whether it will be wiped away.
I'm telling you, it's. I'm sure it's filled to the brim, gone up the rafters as it now. But this is the predicament that faces Frimpoma. I'm sure you may have encountered some of these stories in your career in the course of your observations and interactions. How do you see it?
Well, thank you very much for involving me in this conversation. As always, we would need more sets of facts surrounding the decision or the dilemma she's having. But be that as it may, we will proceed to respond to it on the face of what has been supplied. Now, this is somebody who you describe as disappeared or vanished into thin air and has suddenly appeared again at a crucial time when you are going to consummate a decision which will lead into marriage. That is something that you need to think about. It doesn't have to just look at the arrival of this gentleman from the U.S., but you must think of fairness to the gentleman who has waited with bated breath and put in place all the processes leading up to this marriage, which is only 2 weeks or so away. Now, you should also understand that the principle of the golden rule, which is do to others as you would wish others to do unto you, must be applied in this situation. And I like one of the text messages that we read, which says that don't only use your heart, but also use your head. And I think that's a great admonition for her. The former must come to a point where she should put her emotions aside for a moment and reason with the set of facts surrounding the decision that led to the gentleman's disappearance. If he indeed had recognition and respect for you, would he have left you for 2 years only to surface at such a crucial time? By virtue of association previously, it may be understood that you may have some attachment to the gentleman, but that attachment should not be so strong that it can derail or jilt out of gear her decision to marry now. It has taken her 2 years, and I'm sure that within the 2 years, she may have been brooding over a lot of pain, a lot of disappointment and disquiet. So the question is, how on earth can all those evaporate at such a crucial time of your life? So she has a lot of thinking to do, a lot of reflections to undertake, and careful consideration so that she knows that it's a risk she's taking. Yes, marital decisions are all risk undertaking. But we take the risk because we know that we're giving up our best, and the individual in question is also going to give up their best. So for a person who has not really considered the impact of his disappearance without notice into your life for all these years, you want to be careful not to be driven by oxytocin, which is known as the love portion. Yeah, because it can drive you. It's like you've been bitten by a bug. And he needs to be careful. Sometimes also the issue of monetary considerations comes in, and all that glitters indeed we know is not gold. Before you realize you're going to buy a full gold. So she needs to be careful and think carefully about the decisions she's taking. And whatever choice that she makes will come with some consequence. It is that consequence or those consequences that you should brace yourself up and be able to stand the test of time and prove yourself worthy. Because, in fact, your worth has been undermined by his disappearance without notice.
And there's a lack of contact.
And the lack of contact, yes. I mean, how can somebody who says they love you, so far, she's professing her love for the person. And that can be further interrogated, and I won't be surprised if it is oxytocin induced.
Now, at what point in time then should the reality be dawning on her? And then when you know that you are at a decision point, and this time we're talking about Frimpoma making a commitment to somebody, they want to go and settle down, and then there's a flashback, the reappearance of somebody from your past who you always had a thing for, which superseded what you ever had for any other person. And then you have to come to reality and say that in the midst of this chaos of flashbacks and all these things I'm feeling, this is the way.
You know, Roland, this is what is hurting a lot of relationships and marriages today, where individuals have had some either romantic or sexual attachment with somebody else, and then all of a sudden they take a new decision to marry another. And you would notice that even where there's no romance or sexual connotation, if it is even friendship, sometimes the friendship bond is very strong to the extent that it begins to tell on your new relationship, especially when it gets into marriage. So you find somebody who now has a marriage which is not as strong as a friendship she had previously. And that friendship she had previously begins to undermine the health and the well-being of the current relationship.
Meaning what? Meaning what? They try to reconcile,
you know, they
compare.
don't win themselves off.
Okay.
They don't win themselves off. It's like somebody who is married and wishing to be single. We've discussed this before. The fact of you ending a relationship does not mean you have actually terminated your connections to the person. So those terminations must be done deliberately. You must detach. And when you look at the continuum of marriage, it's to leave, cleave, and bond. So the leaving, you leave all lesser engagement, lesser relationships, lesser preoccupations. And at this point, this American fellow may be a friend, but cannot be the one you're going to marry. And for the 2 years, what was he doing in America? Who was he hanging around with? You don't have those kinds of things.
Okay.
For all you care to know, he must, along the line, might have gotten himself involved with another person. So if you're not careful, you're going to be just an experimental piece. A specimen for somebody to experiment his love, feelings on and over. And so he needs to do a lot of sober reflection in this matter. Terminate it, pull away those strings that make you feel bonded or obliged to this person. Don't make monetary consideration your priority, because money takes the rate of wings at the point.
Okay. Now, we are here doing the assurances. Does she need to perhaps confide in the current one who she is betrothed to? And then what sort of advice could also or should be coming from that person too, in terms of the assurances? Because sometimes, you know, we all do need assurance cues to make some firm decisions.
You see, currently the struggle is an internal one. It's one that is only internalized by her. Now, you are in a relationship with somebody that 2 months from now you're going to marry. So it will be good to have a conversation with somebody you can trust to help you take a firm decision. And it should be somebody who does not have a vested interest in the matter. Somebody who is not going to be sentimentally attached, and therefore their emotions are going to cloud the ability to do a very thorough, reflective decision-making process. So she needs that. Now, when that is done, she must ensure that she detaches from anything that connects her to this fellow from America. Because for as long as she keeps fueling and fanning the flames between them, there's no way she's going to be fully there for this individual. It will be like present in body but absent in mind, absent in heart. And that looks and sounds like a certain telenovela I saw. Well, and I've seen too many of those things.
So your ultimate advice is, please.
My ultimate advice to her would be that, take a deep breath, look at yourself in the mirror. What is the best for your life?
Yeah.
And the best, you are only going to be the one responsible for the best for your life.
All right.
If you know that you deserve the best, don't settle for good, because that good is even not good for you.
Well, thank you very much. Amos.
Thank you, Roland.
Amos Kevin Annan is is our counselor for today, and please make sure that you touch base with him on all his social media handles. I have this one from Blaze, Germany, who says he's an ardent watcher of the show. Says just to contribute on the subject, it's a very complicated situation that the lady is in now. Women and women outside Ghana or Africa are always in these problems of marriage, but I will advise the lady to concentrate, listen to herself, and make the right choice. I wish her all the best. It's quite something, especially knowing that you live outside Ghana, and so you've had the experiences of the choices you have to make. Hawa from Boku is sending us this message. Says, assuming the U.S. Guy came on the wedding day, would she have stopped the wedding? My sister, use your heart. Don't use your mind and not your heart, because it's about marriage and not dating. And that's from Hawa. We also do have from Ayamga Dokas from Bolga, who is saying, good morning, dear AM. This is a difficult thing to do, but very simple, because I think if the guy really had real love for her, he wouldn't have done what he did. I think the girl should focus on the new guy for her own good health. And Dorcas continues, because she will never be happy if she abandons the new guy. And that's from Dorcas Ayamga from Bolga. Quite interesting. It looks like many people could relate to this very interaction. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we wish you the very best in taking your decision. I hope that all the discussions will help you make the best of the decision. You heard from Amos Kevinan, and ask yourself a series of questions.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it is your choice.
Well, definitely.
So we wish you well with that. You can also write to dearam.info@myjoyonline.com. That's where you have to send your email to if you want to share anything relationship that you're having to battle with, and you need our support on that. Stay with us. Still the AM show. When we come back, it's Joyce Blessing here on the AM show.